Hey y'all, so we are on our way about 400 feet, it says here, from an IONNA charger. This is going to be my first time visiting. If you don't know, IONNA is a joint venture between a few, actually 8 automakers. That's BMW, GM, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, and Toyota. So they offer 400 kilowatt max dispensers there. I'm very excited. We're going to be arriving with a, what do we have here, about an 8% state of charge. It actually says that I'm arriving with an 8% state of charge. Maybe I'm going to get some of that kinetic energy, because right now it says 7%, the regen. That I'm going to get back maybe a 1% increase. I doubt that's going to be the case, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into it. So here it is. We are at this IONNA, and we are right here in front of the payment options. Again, my first time being here. Looks like it's 39 cents a kilowatt hour. It says plug in your vehicle until you hear that click, but we're going to go ahead and use the NACS adapter here. Well, not adapter, but just the NACS option. And here we go. I'm going to try to do this with one hand because this thing is wicked thick. So there's that, and now it says pay by card or app. Let me get my card out. Should have had these things already taken care of, but obviously did not. 39 kilowatts, 39 cents per kilowatt isn't so bad at all. There is a Tesla supercharger close by. Oh, and look, it actually has like a temporary hold of $30. It's indicating that it's authorizing at this time and approved already. So now let's see what the payment screen does and what kind of handshake we have. It says receipt available after session, preparing to charge. Whenever I look at my Model Y, I know it's a little bit difficult to see there. Trying to zoom this in. It says that's not going to work there, but it says 45 minutes remaining, 7%, and here we go. It actually did start charging, so we are now charging here, and we're again at 8%. Looks like it's 220 kilowatts that we're working with. Interested to see running cost, 55 cents here. Go to the home screen, go to the active sessions. We've got that. We're at 223 kilowatts. I'm gonna go back and look to see. Oh, completely and totally lost. I'm trying to get back to the screen. Some of these items are and are not selectable. And again, there's the option. And there it is. There's our session. I guess that's pretty much the info that we have. Charge details. Okay, there it is. That's exactly what I was looking for. Looking for that curve there. 227 kilowatts that are being dispensed at this time. State of charge coming in was at 7%. Right now we're currently at 13%. 600 amps, 380 volts, and the energy that's being delivered there is 5.7302 kilowatts per hour, averaging 209, 207. So it's still keeping up a pretty good charge, and right as I say that, there is a slight bit of a drop off. The highest it went was 231, but now it's at 223. So there are speeds, and right now at 15%, that's kind of where we're seeing the drop off. And let's see how much the active price We're currently running at $3.32. So again, not too shabby. Going back to the active session, going back to additional details, cost details, kind of broken down there based by energy. So not too bad. But there it is. There's the IONNA charger here. I'm going to go ahead and try to close this. Don't mind my mess back there. But again, this is the IONNA, and of all places in Corsicana, Texas. We have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stations, right? They both, all stations have shared power here, and we have 2 NACS and then 3 CCS charging points. I want to get a shot of this this buffalo here on the side. It's kind of cool. So there it is, but this is the IONNA rechargery here. Pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get back in the car, see some stats that we have available for this. It's a nice setup that we've got going on. And right now we're holding 195 kilowatts at this current time. It was a quick drop off, in all honesty. Thought it would have held the charge a little bit longer. My charge limit is set to 95. That's definitely wrong. I want to go ahead and bring it down. Maybe go ahead and take off from here once we see a drastic decrease. And I do want to navigate home, so we're putting that out there, giving us an option of where it'll take us next, and based on how much energy that we have. Not too bad. And I would get home right around 10 o'clock, stopping at these locations. So 176 kilowatts, still holding strong. Not too bad. We got ourselves a Shell gas station, and we have a place here that says Texas Barbecue, Texas Best Barbecue. But yeah, 60% is the limit that I'm trying to head to. It says about 15 minutes. Getting the energy pretty quickly, and at a reasonable cost, at least a reasonable cost at this location. But I do want to talk just a little bit about IONNAs. So just a little bit more info, general stuff about IONNA, right? Like we mentioned, IONNA is a joint venture between 8 major global automakers, and they include BMW, GM, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, right? Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, and Toyota. And like we mentioned, they are different charging locations that are coming up across the United States. They're high-powered DC fast chargers. They offer typically about 400 kilowatts of fast charging. So a lot of the newer vehicles that are coming online, right, that are being introduced to the U.S. market, they are now able to keep a higher amount of energy, dispense a higher amount of energy, and different charging companies are starting to keep up with the demand. I mean, nothing like the Alphatronic Mercedes charging stations. They are pretty amazing, up to 800 kilowatts that they can dispense, again, as long as your vehicle has that architecture to be able to keep up with that that energy being dispensed out by those charging stations. But again, IONNA is just, right now, I gotta say it, they're blowing past Tesla. Tesla's starting to fall behind the curve there. And IONNA is coming at a right time. Definitely excited about the joint venture that's been going on, I think roughly almost like 2 years, but we're really now starting to see that infrastructure that is being built across America. But IONNA kind of aims to build at least 30,000 high power charging stations, and the goal is by 2030, right? That's the intended goal. they got a good shot of getting there, right? And it also is being benefited by the EV charging incentives, even though we saw that $7,500 tax incentives go by the wayside. We still have EV incentives for companies to build infrastructure across America. So it is, I gotta believe that this is one of the companies that is benefiting from that. But yeah, as far as like handshake time, it wasn't a Tesla supercharger, right, where you plug it in and bam, it just automatically starts. But what it did in fact do, it had a pretty, I gotta say, maybe 20 to 30 seconds in terms of handshake, right? And by handshake, I mean the authorization process, right? I ended up bringing out my credit card. I ended up plugging in my vehicle, then swiping my card info, and then from there, right, the time that I had it plugged in to payment, authorization, and then communicating with the vehicle to get that charging going, right? So that is where we talk about handshake. Pretty impressive 20 to 30 second handshake time is what we experience here. Some of the IONNA chargers are unique in the sense that they have different amenities. Not this one. The real connection that it has here is at a gas station, which seems like a really nice gas station here, convenience store. But some IONNAs across the U.S. have amenities that are standalone, that are being owned by the good folks at IONNA. We also are starting to see that they are partnering with a couple of different folks, right? Like major convenience stores like Wawa's, nothing that we have here in this good state of Texas. And also the same thing with like Sheetz, which is another convenience store that is collaborating with them to get those amenities going for them, right? I do want to visit an IONNA. I think we have like less than a handful in the state of Texas. There's another one in Houston. I don't think it's a rechargery where it has a convenience store and a lounge built directly into it, but we're seeing some come across America. I know the Carolinas, I don't know if it's North or South Carolina, that have those IONNAs that actually have like amenities built in, a little convenience store you can go into, just swipe your card, go in, grab anything that you wish from there, right? Soda, chips, and a terminal that is not actively attended by a human being, right? So you basically go in, select your items, go ahead and scan it yourself and pay at the terminal with your credit card or with like your phone, right? So as far as pricing and cost, on average, 39 cents a kilowatt. Prices will vary by location, but again, at least this location was incredibly reasonable, and I did see that 39 cents a kilowatt hour. Nothing compared to Tesla, usually about 35, 36, depending on where you're at. Or me in town in San Antonio, I experienced I believe 33 on average, 33 cents a kilowatt hour. So 6 cents, a little more expensive. But shoot, if you're going to be getting a little bit higher speeds and able to keep that curve up high, consistent charging from start to end, and like we're noticing right now, we are at 49%, and we've definitely tapered off. We're at 98 kilowatts. So I'm gonna go ahead and like redo my navigation and see whether or not it updates state of charge or state of arrival, state of charge at arrival. And I've got a couple of different options here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and figure that out in a minute, where it is I want to go and how much longer I do want to stay here. But again, I do think that places like IONNA, different companies that are out and actually trying to cater to the EV growing market, even though we haven't here in the States fully adapted like we could have, right, in the past couple of years. A lot of different factors, right? Consumers maybe not being that market that was expected initially. But I do definitely think that EVs are here to stay, and there will be that adaptation throughout the years, right? Maybe we could see another surge in adaptation increase within about 3 to 4 years is what I feel that would be the case and reasonable, right? But yeah, here is the IONNA charger. I'm gonna go ahead and get out in a moment, and then we will wrap up this video. Going to the active session, as you can tell, we're at 53%. We're going to go ahead and select NACS, and right now we are at $15, which again isn't too bad based on the charging details. You see where that, I love this. I love the graph that it shows you here, how much power has been dispensed at any given moment, and where we see it taper. And if we're looking at this section, I wish they had a selectable option here, but you see right up at the top, maybe about a good 30% maybe is where we ended up having the drop off. Right now we're at 87 kilowatts. I don't know how much longer I want to keep this going and keep it charging, being that we've drastically dropped off. Really doesn't do us any good, but to keep it here that much longer. But I think 60% is a safe bet, and I already have my car's charging status to stop charging at 60%, so we're going to be taking off in a little bit. Okay, so here are our final charging numbers. We are at 74%. The state of charge this session was $21.86. I want to get the charging details here so you can see exactly where the drop off was. Well, not exactly, because I don't think it actually gives like that info here, but started at 200 or topped off at 231 kilowatts, and probably about a good maybe 10 minutes into the charging session, there was a drastic drop off there. We ended up at 57% or 57 kilowatts, and state of charge coming in was at 7%, topped off at 74%. And the total energy delivered, dispensed 51.77 kilowatts here. So all in all, a positive experience here at IONNA. But again, here is the IONNA charger. And this is just the middle of nowhere, Corsicana, Texas, but I'm very glad that I found it and was able to bring this video to you. So thanks again for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.